So yes, everyone. So can you hear me? Is the screen clear so that we can start the session, everyone? So let me know. Okay, great. So yes, starting the session now. So yes, today's session is the MCQ session which we will start, and so we are discussing the MCQ session today. So this is the MCQs related to the systemic histology mainly, the histological part of the session. So before starting the session, meanwhile the students is joining, let's have an introduction of the platform. All free live sessions can be accessed by you by using the code ANAD10. Also, special class session, interactive session. What are the benefits of joining a special class session? Is that it's an interactive session where polls are conducted. So these are the polls for the learner. You can raise your hand, never miss a session. And also lecture notes are provided to you anytime, anywhere. Read from the top educators of Unacademy and get lecture notes provided to you. So when the session is finished, you can have the PDF notes and never miss a session. You will get the notification regarding each and every session. You can also talk to the educator live in the session. Use this code as an unlock code and be the part of the session. So today I have taken two sessions. One is the histology of lymphatic structure and the other is his systemic histology session, MCQs. So the plus sessions benefits are you can access both the live and the recorded version. You can study from India top educators, compete in live tests and quizzes, study on the device of your choice, access more than 25,000 MCQs made by the top educators of Unacademy platform. Doraemon, welcome to the session. So study also Doraemon was there and he has performed very nice. Okay, coming soon is the printed notes provided to you. So use this code ANAD10 and get 10% discount. So what are the benefits of Iconic subscription? The benefits of Iconic subscription is that here the merging of the Prep Ladder and the Unacademy is done. So yes, you can have the benefits of both the sessions. So that means that you can have the benefit of both the part of the Prep Ladder and the Unacademy. That would be highly beneficial for you. Okay, so that is really highly beneficial for you where you can compete in both the session. That is the session which is that would be the session of the Unacademy and the Prep Ladder where the dream team can be there and they can provide you all the dream notes. So Prep Ladder dream team notes would be provided to you. That would be highly beneficial for you. Also integrated and clinical versions can be assessed by you. So you can have the integrated and clinical versions assessed. Okay. Also video lectures from the dream team of Prep Ladder can be assessed. Rapid revision and snapshots can be assessed. Okay. Rapid revision and snapshots can be assessed by you. Treasure dream notes of the Prep Ladder team can be provided to you. Video lectures from the dream team. All these QBank 3, all these can be assessed by taking the subscription of Iconic. Yes. Also, when we are talking about limited time offer, so I just want to tell that first 500 aspirants, those who want to take the subscription, this would go for this limited time offer and subscription. Use the code ANAD10 and get 10% discount, where you can avail the opportunity of nearly 20 to 25% discount of a total, because discounted rate is going on. So just grab this opportunity, and if you are planning to take the subscription, this is the right time to take the Iconic subscription. Also, highly updated QBank 3 is there, which can be assessed by you. You can use this code as an unlock code and you can solve 25,000 MCQs based on the clinical MCQs for the whole of the 19 subject based on the latest pattern of examination, includes a detailed explanation for each and every MCQs. Also, I want to tell you about take 2 years of subscription and get 4 months of subscription absolutely free. Take 12 months of subscription and get 2 months of subscription absolutely free. NEET PG Compact. So this is a very helpful for you. Those who are interested, please do join. It is highly helpful. 10th October 11 AM is the timing for NEET PG Compact. 60 minutes, 45 MCQ, a scholarship pool for 1 crore rupees, and till 200 ranker students will get this. So rank 1 to 3, 1 year NEET PG plus subscription. Rank 4 to 10, 75% scholarship. Rank 15 to 50, 50% scholarship. And rank 51 to 200 will get 25% of the scholarship. That means till 200 ranks will get the scholarship. So just grab this opportunity. And before starting the session, I want you to show the slide where the Iconic and the Plus session subscription pricing detail has been compared. So where you can see the pricing detail of both of these has been compared. So if you are in first or second year, go for 4 years of subscription of Iconic or Plus subscription and get 10% discount by using the code ANAT10. If you are in the finals or internship, you can either go for 1 or 2 years of subscription, use this code for 10% discount. So my dear aspirants, let's start with the session now. Okay, let's start with the session, that is blood testis barrier is formed by. Okay, blood testis barrier is formed by which of the following? Whether it is Sertoli cells, whether it is ependymal cell, whether it is mesenchymal cell or spermatozoa. So today we have got 20 MCQs, I think 19 to 20 MCQs I have targeted. So we will solve this. Let's start with the first MCQ. All the best to everyone. So according to you, which is the correct answer? Your time begins now. Okay, so yes. Okay, so yes, the correct answer is Sertoli cells. So correct answer is Sertoli cells. So Sertoli cells is also called as the supporting cells, which is lying in between the developing form of the sperm cells, and it is forming a barrier. It is forming blood testis barrier, which is protecting the developing stages of the sperm, that is spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, to be attacked by the blood antigen. So blood testis barrier is formed by Sertoli cells. Is the correct answer. Okay. So yes. Now see this diagram where you can clearly see individual Sertoli cells has been seen, and it is forming a supporting network for the developing spermatogonium, primary spermatocytes, secondary spermatocytes, and it is protecting them from the attack of antigens which is present in the blood. So Sertoli cell is forming blood testis barrier. Moving on to the next. Space of dyes is present where? Space of dyes is present where? Whether it is present in liver, spleen, thymus or thyroid gland. Space of dyes is present where? In liver, spleen, thymus gland or thyroid. Question number 2, mark the correct answer. Your time begins now. All of you do participate in poll. So students, you should participate in poll. All of you do participate in poll. Okay. Whether it is right or wrong doesn't matter, but do participate. The correct answer is liver. Okay, space of dyes is lying in the liver. It is perisinusoidal space which is seen in the liver, around the sinusites, liver sinusites. So yes, perisinusoidal space, the other name of perisinusoidal space is called as space of dyes, and it is located in the liver, exactly residing between the hepatocytes and sinusites. So it is exactly residing. It is exactly residing. So exactly perisinusoidal space is residing between the hepatocytes and the sinusites. It contains blood plasma. Now, microvilli of the hepatocytes are extended into the space, and this will allow protein and other plasma components from the sinusites to get absorbed by the hepatocytes. So what is the function? The microvilli of the hepatocytes is extending in the space and leading to the absorption done by the hepatocytes. Perisinusoidal space is containing, this is also asked sometimes in the MCQ, that what does it contains? So it contains hepatic stellate cells, and the other name of stellate cells, it is also called as Ito cells. The function is that it stores fat and fat soluble vitamin A. So it is storing fat and fat soluble vitamin A. Now see here you can see this is the central vein, and here you can see the portal area which is containing portal vein, portal triad and bile ducts and hepatic arteries, and this is the space of dyes which is around the perisinusoidal space. As you can see, it is surrounding the lying over the sinusites, perisinusoidal space containing the Ito cells. What does it contains? It contains Ito cells. So let's move on to the next MCQ, that is MCQ number 3. Space of dyes in the liver. Let's move on to the next MCQ. Okay, identify the histological slide. Identify the histological slide. whether it is duodenum, ileum, esophagus, or jejunum. Your time starts now. Okay. Identify the histological slide. 4 options are there. Mark the correct answer. Okay. So Point Break has given the right answer. And the histological slide which is shown here is of the duodenum. This is a slide of duodenum which has been seen. Okay. So how we can identify this slide? First thing is that it is a slide of small intestine is known to us, or GI tract, because 4 layers are there. Okay. So we can see here, this is the mucosa, this is the submucosa, this is the muscularis layer, and this is the outer serosa. So 4 layers are there. Mucosa, submucosa. Okay, see here, this is villi, which is the mucosa extending, and this is the submucosa, this is muscular layers. And in the submucosa layer, this white structure which you are seeing is the Brunner's gland. Which gland? Brunner's gland or duodenal gland. So see here, this is another slide where you can understand the whole histological aspect of your duodenum. You can see here the villi has been seen. So very nicely you can see here the villi has been seen. And this is lymphatic nodule is in the lamina propria layer. So this is the mucosa layer. This is submucosa, SM for the submucosa. And you can see here these circular structure which you are seeing here. What is this? These are the Brunner's gland, duodenal gland. So Brunner's gland is the characteristic feature for identification. Why? Because Brunner's gland is present in the submucosa layer. Adjacent to it is the muscular layer, 2 layers of muscle, and outermost is the adventitia, TA for tunica adventitia layer. So yes, tunica adventitia layer is lying outermost, or it can be tunica adventitia, or can be a part of serosa where peritoneum lies. So the characteristic feature of duodenum slide is the presence of Brunner's gland. So here also in this slide, if you will have an high power view, so you can see here so many Brunner's gland has been shown. So exactly this becomes a slide of duodenum. Ileum nahi hai. Why ileum nahi hai? Because there is no Pierce passes. Esophagus nahi hai. Why? Because lining epithelium is not multi-layer. It is not stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Jejunum is not there because jejunum is not having Brunner's gland. Question number 4. Identify the histological slide given below. Whether it is muscular artery, whether it is vein, whether it is elastic artery, whether it is arteriole. So what is the correct answer? Question number 4. Identify the histological slide. Take your time, identify it, and mark the correct answer. So your time begins now. Question number 4, mark the correct answer. Okay, what a great. So all of you have given the right answer. Muscular artery is the right answer. Absolutely right. Yes, muscular artery is the right answer. And how we can see why it is a right answer? Because we can see the slide which is having a rounded lumen. As you can see in the slide, there is a rounded lumen which has been shown. So a slide of low power where a rounded lumen is visible. So a lumen is visible. And also the next point which is visible is the internal elastic lamina. So this is internal elastic lamina, and this is the tunica media, and this is tunica adventitia. So in this slide, this layer. Okay. So yes, is the screens visible, all of you? All of you, please let me know, is the screen visible? Okay. So yes, now see here, this layer which you are seeing, this layer. This is the tunica adventitia layer, and this is the tunica media layer. Yes. Okay, great. So this is tunica media and this is tunica adventitia. This is the line which you are clearly seeing. This is the internal elastic lamina. So in this layer, the internal elastic lamina is seen. IEL, internal elastic lamina is clearly seen. So this is IEL, that is internal elastic lamina. So this is muscular artery. Now see here, I will show you another slide where all these features can be seen here. So see here, yahan pe bhi internal elastic lamina, this line is IEL, that is internal elastic lamina has been seen. Also you can see tunica media and tunica adventitia. Okay, and lumen is seen, and it is having so many of elastic fibers. When you will see comparative view of vein, it is having irregular or collapsed lumen. Collapsed lumen will be in the case of vein slide. So yes, clearly this becomes a slide of muscular artery. You have given already the correct answer. Now identify the histological slide given below. Question number 5, mark the correct answer. 4 options are there. Identify the slide given below, whether it is tonsil, whether it is lymph node, whether it is thymus gland, whether it is vein. So according to you, which is the correct answer? Tonsil, lymph node, thymus gland and vein. Question number 5, mark the correct answer. Mark the correct, and those who have, try to give the answers in the poll. So whether you are knowing or not knowing, try to give the answers in the poll. Okay. So yes. Nanda, welcome to the session, dear. So yes, this is a slide of tonsil, and why this is a slide of tonsil, I will tell you. The first thing which is very easy for you to identify here, what is this? What is this? This is tonsillar crypt. What is this? This is tonsillar crypt and the lining epithelium. If you will see lining epithelium, this is the lining epithelium which is multi-layer. This epithelium lining is multi-layer. So this is the multi-layered epithelium lining which you are seeing. Okay, so this lining epithelium is, yes, Kaustup, absolutely right. This is stratified squamous. This is stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Non-keratinized epithelium hai. The lining epithelium, stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium, lymphatic nodule is there. Lymphatic crypts, tonsillar crypt is there. Tonsillar crypt is there. So all these points are telling us the correct answer, that this is a slide of tonsil. So again, I will show you the slide of tonsil where you can see all these structures very clearly. You can see that stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium has been shown. Lymphatic aggregation, tonsillar crypts has been shown, and outermost is the fibrous capsule. So fibrous capsule. So see here a slide having fibrous capsule, lymphatic nodule, crypts and stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. This makes it a slide of tonsil. Now stave cells is present where? Stave cells are present where? All of you, stave cells are present where? Whether it is present in liver, spleen, pancreas or gallbladder. Question number 7, mark the correct answer. Your time begins now. Question number 7. Stave cells are present where? So yes, the correct answer is stave cells are present in spleen. Yes. So stave cells, as we know, is formed by the splenic venous sinusoid. It is formed by splenic venous sinusoids, and the splenic venous sinusoids, when we are talking about splenic venous sinusoids, which is in the barrel shaped structure, barrel or spindle shaped structure, and this venous sinusoids is having surrounded by reticular fibers. So this characteristic feature is seen in case of spleen. So see here you can see this is the sinusoids. Okay, these are the reticular fibers. So here you can clearly see these are the splenic sinusoids, spindle shaped. Okay, and this splenic sinusoids is surrounded by reticular fibers. So here these all lines which you are seeing is of reticular fibers, and this is called as stave cells. This characteristic feature is called as stave cells, and it is present in the slide of spleen. Which part? Red pulp of the spleen. It is present in red pulp of the spleen. So stage cells are present in which part of the spleen? Red pulp of the spleen. Okay, let's move on to the next one, question number 8. Most common site of prostatic carcinoma. Most common site of prostatic carcinoma is which of the following? Anterior lobe, median lobe, posterior lobe, central zone. Okay. So most common site of prostatic cancer carcinoma is anterior lobe, median lobe, posterior lobe, central zone. So yes, 4 options are there. Mark the correct answer. Question number 8. Question number 8, mark the correct answer. Your time begins now. Okay, so mixed bundle of answers are coming up. Yes. Yes. Okay. So what is the correct answer, dear? The correct answer is posterior lobe. The correct answer is posterior. Okay, so see here, most common site of prostatic carcinoma is posterior lobe. Median lobe is common for benign hypertrophy of prostate. Benign hypertrophy of prostate. So let me explain the surgical anatomy. So can you see this prostate zone? So my dear aspirants, actually the most common site of prostate cancer is peripheral zone. Can you see here? Peripheral zone is that part of the prostate gland which is lying beneath the fibrous capsule. Peripheral zone is that part of prostate gland which is lying beneath the fibrous capsule. Peripheral zone. It is lying beneath the fibrous capsule and it is surrounding the distal urethra. So 70 to 75% of cancers will arise from peripheral zone. Central zone. Okay. So there is central zone. Central zone is, as you can see, is surrounding the ejaculatory duct, ED. What do you mean by the word ED? ED means ejaculatory duct, and 2.5% of prostatic cancer carcinoma is from central zone. Transitional zone is surrounding proximal urethra. It is surrounding the area of proximal urethra. This is that part of prostate gland which is surrounding the area of proximal urethra. Transitional zone. Is it clear? Transitional zone is accounting for 15 to 20% of prostatic cancer. The anterior region of, if we talk about anterior region of prostate gland, it is having no glands. It is fibromuscular zone. No glands. There is no glands. It is fibromuscular zone. And here there is no prostate gland. Okay. So it is very easy to know in respect to lobe. So posterior lobe is correct answer. But I am talking in respect to zone. So kitne zone hai? 4 zones are there. Let me just quickly tell you. Peripheral zone. Peripheral zone is the part of prostate gland which is surrounding the distal urethra. Distal urethra lying beneath the capsule. Central zone is surrounding ejaculatory duct. Central zone is surrounding the ejaculatory duct, and transitional zone is surrounding the distal urethra. 15 to 20% from transitional zone. Peripheral zone is accounting for 70% of prostatic cancer. Fibromuscular zone is accounting for anterior part where there is no prostate cancer chance. So is it okay? Let's move on to question number 9. All the best. All the best, students. Duct of following gland is consist of stratified cuboidal epithelium except. All of the following glands has got stratified cuboidal epithelium except sweat gland, sebaceous gland, salivary gland, and pancreas. Okay. So your time start now. Question number 9, mark the correct answer. Which of the following gland duct is not having stratified cuboidal epithelium? Your time starts now. Question number 9. Okay, so yes, we have Dr. Kaustup. Kaustup has given the right answer, and the correct answer here is sebaceous gland. So my dear aspirants, sebaceous gland is the correct answer. Sebaceous gland is the correct answer. So got it? Sebaceous gland is the correct answer. So my dear friends, sebaceous gland is the structures which is seen in the skin, thin skin, and this is this duct. The duct of sebaceous gland is lined by same epithelium. So it is actually lined by stratified squamous keratin. It is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified squamous epithelium. It is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. So that is the answer. So all other ducts, sweat gland, salivary gland, pancreas के duct में stratified cuboidal होगा, but sebaceous gland is stratified squamous. Everyone, can we move on to question number 10? Are you ready? Okay. Reticular fibers of collagen tissue is present in all except. Reticular fibers of collagen tissue is present in all except thymus, bone marrow, spleen, and lymph node. Reticular fibers of collagen tissue is present in all except. So your time starts now. We have got question number 10. Mark the correct answer. Which of the following structure is not having supporting network given by the reticular fibers? Your time starts now. Okay, okay. So yes, the correct answer is thymus gland. Thymus gland is the correct answer. Actually, this is commonly has been asked in previous year also, and it is very important. So can anybody tell me the supporting network of thymus gland is which structure? Which structure is giving supporting framework or supporting structural support to that of the thymus gland? Anyone? If it is not the reticular fiber, so what is that structure called as? That structure is called as, anyone? That structure is called as epithelio-reticular cells. It is called as epithelio-reticular cells. The supporting network in thymus gland is formed by epithelio-reticular cells. So thymus is the correct answer. In case of bone marrow, in case of spleen, and in case of lymph node, the supporting network is formed by reticular fibers. The supporting network is formed by reticular fibers. So we have to choose one. So we will choose A as the correct answer, thymus gland. Question number 10, thymus gland is the correct answer. Got it, everyone? So yes, question number 11, mark the correct answer. Absence of lymphatics is characteristic feature of which of the following structure? There is no lymphatics in which of the following structure? Liver, lung, brain, placenta. Your time starts now. Okay. So yes, absence of lymphatics is characteristic of. Actually, the correct answer is brain. Brain is not having lymphatics. Okay. So brain is not having lymphatics. Actually, lymphatics will be absent in few structures where there is no capillaries. Okay. So that is the right answer. So question number 11, absence of lymphatics. So you just write lymph capillaries, avascular structures. Avascular structures will have absence of lymphatics, and the important structure in this category is choroid. Important structure, sorry. So write down, it is in CNS, part of meninges also. It is in the epidermis of the cornea. It is in the cartilage. It is in the internal ear part. It is in tendons. Parts of the eyeball also. So brain, we have to choose one. So we will go with the answer. We will go with brain. So yes, let's move on to the next one. Question number 12. Epithelium lining of lingual surface of epiglottis is. So epiglottis is larynx cartilage. Okay, it's an unpaired larynx cartilage. Epiglottis is unpaired larynx cartilage. So epithelial lining of the lingual surface of epiglottis is A, simple columnar, pseudostratified ciliated columnar, simple cuboidal, stratified squamous epithelium. According to you, which is the correct answer? Question number 12. Epithelial lining of lingual surfaces. What is the correct answer? What will be the lining epithelium of lingual aspect of epiglottis? Okay. Yes, I will come to that. Question number 12, mark the correct answer. Okay, Dr. Gunjan, I will come to that. Firstly, mark the correct answer for question number 12. Okay. Okay, firstly, let us see how many of you have marked it right. Then I will come with that questions. Okay, Gunjan, Dr. Gunjan. Okay, so yes, mixed bundle of answers are come. So yes, yes. Okay, the correct answer is stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified squamous epithelium. So yes, okay. So firstly, let me explain this MCQ, and Dr. Gunjan, then I will come to you. Stratified squamous. If it actually when we are talking about epiglottis, so epiglottis is located where? Okay, epiglottis is a flap-like laryngeal cartilage which is lying on the posterior aspect of the tongue. ओके सो अगर ये टंग है इसके पोस्टीरियर एस्पेक्ट पे एक लीफ लाइक स्ट्रक्चर ऐसा है दैट इज दैट इज epiglottis. E for this is tongue. So actually its one aspect will be towards the respiratory, another aspect will be oral cavity. Means what you can say, epiglottis is a laryngeal cartilage. Epiglottis is a laryngeal cartilage which is a flap like structure which will lie on the posterior aspect of the tongue, posterior most position of the tongue, which is having one surface towards the oral cavity, other surface towards the respiratory aspect. So the area which is lying towards the respiratory aspect will have the epithelium, pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium, and the oral surface will have stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, so let me write that. Correct answer. So epiglottis is having oral surface. It is having the surface towards the respiratory tract. So it is having laryngeal surface, you can say. So oral aspect पे stratified squamous epithelium होगा, and the surface which is lying over the respiratory close to the pharynx and laryngeal aspect, that will have pseudo-stratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Ciliated columnar epithelium. Is it okay? Columnar epithelium. So this is towards the respiratory aspect, respiratory epithelium, and oral aspect में stratified squamous epithelium, because it will have friction in that area. Yes, Dr. Gunjan, ma'am, thymus gland, we don't, what do you didn't understand what you say, supporting structure. Okay, so Dr. Gunjan, this is for you. Actually, what happens when we are talking of lymphoid structure? So let me come up with this point. One plain seat I want, okay? Yes. Okay, reticular, this was the question. Okay, let me just erase this. So actually, whenever we are talking about lymphatic structure, it is having connective tissue framework and it is having parenchyma. Okay, dear. So parenchyma, दो मतलब जनरल स्ट्रक्चर, लिम्फॉइड स्ट्रक्चर में लिम्फ नोड होता है, स्प्लीन होता है, थाइमस होता है, टॉन्सिल होता है. That is containing a connective tissue framework. For example, breast gland में भी connective tissue framework होता है. So here the reticular fibers, RF means reticular fibers, which is a type of collagen fibers only. So reticular fibers is a supporting network forming connective tissue framework. Parenchyma is formed by lymphocytes and all, lymphatic aggregations and all. So actually this support is given. For example, red pulp and white pulp is parenchyma, and surrounding to it structure which is forming the connective tissue meshwork or giving support. Okay, that is called as reticular fibers, and that is supporting. In case of thymus gland, reticular fibers के जगह पे reticuloepithelial cells होते हैं. Got it? Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 13. Clear, Dr. Gunjan? Okay. Chief cell is found in which part of gastric gland? Chief cell is found in which part of gastric gland? 4 options are there. Mark the correct answer. Chief cells are found in which part of gastric gland? Last year it has been asked. It is a AIMS entrance exam previous year. Question number 13 found the correct answer. Okay, so yes, we have got mixed bundle of answers. Okay, so here chief cells are found. Chief cells are found in which part of gastric gland? Actually, the correct answer is fundus. So when we are talking about gastric gland, so the gastric gland is having various kind of cells. The gastric gland will have chief cells. The gastric gland will have mucus, neck cell. The gastric gland will have parietal cells. The gastric gland will have stem cells. The gastric gland will have neuroendocrine cells. Okay, now my dear aspirants, location is different. So chief cells is lying in the lower part, that is the fundic part of the gland. Mucous neck cell, what is the location of mucous neck cell? It is lying in the neck region. Parietal cell, what is the location of the parietal cell or oxyntic cell? What is the other name of parietal cell? It is also called as oxyntic cell. It is lying in the body or upper half part of, it is like lying on the body or upper half part of the gastric gland. Neuroendocrine cell is lying in the deeper aspect or the basal aspect. Stem cell is also lying at the deeper aspect and the basal aspect. So the correct answer of location of chief cells will be the fundic part. So let me show you a diagram for it. So let me slightly zoom this. So can you see here, this whole slide is showing you the part of gastric gland. So this is a diagram of gastric gland. Gastric gland. So in this slide of gastric gland, what you can see, the mucus cell is, as you can see, is towards the neck region. What is this? This is the neck region. Mucous neck cells is the neck region. Now parietal cell is in the upper part. As you can see here, no. Okay, parietal cell is in the upper half of the body. Chief cell is in the lower half of the body. That is the fundic part. This is the body. Enteroendocrine cells are lying here. Okay, so done with this. So let's move on to question number 14. Is it okay? Can we move on to next MCQ, everyone? Yes, let's move on to the next MCQ. So 5 more MCQs are there. Okay, so yes, we will quickly finish up that MCQs. Let's start with this. So urothelium lines all except. Question number 14, urothelium lines all except. So minor calyces, ureter, urinary bladder and membranous urethra. Which part is not having the lining epithelium as the urothelium? According to you, question number 14, which is the correct answer? Your time starts now. Okay, so yes. So the correct answer is urothelium lines all except membranous urethra. So my dear friends, minor calyces, ureter, urinary bladder is having urothelium, that is transitional epithelium. But can anybody tell me membranous urethra? This is the part of urethra which is having the epithelium as stratified or pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. It is having pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Got it? Membranous urethra is having stratified or pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. It is having stratified or pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. Everyone, urothelium, pseudo-stratified or stratified columnar epithelium. Got it? Question number 14. Membranous urethra is the correct answer. Identify the histological slide. Identify this histological slide. Question number 15. Take your time and identify. Okay, please write down the name. I will give you time. So can everyone try your luck? Write the name. Which slide is this? What do you think? Which slide is this? So, okay, if you want a few options, it is a slide of ovary. It is a slide of thyroid gland. It is a slide of ovary. It is a slide of thyroid gland. It is a slide of kidney. Testis. So give me the answer. Which is the right option? It is the slide of thyroid. It is the slide of So thyroid, it is, write the name, just write down the name. It is the slide of thyroid, write down the name. Okay, is it the slide of ovary, thyroid, kidney or testis? All of you can write the message में name लिख सकते हैं. What do you think? So Dr. Gunjan is telling thyroid. What about others? What about others? Dr. Gunjan is telling thyroid. Whether it is ovary, thyroid, kidney, testis. Any idea? Just give it a guess. Give it a guess. The correct answer is, so the correct answer is, Dr. Gunjan is absolutely right. This is what? This is colloid. So here there is so many colloids lying there. So is it okay? The slide is clear. So there is so much of colloid lying there. Here also colloid is lying. Okay. So yes, this is colloid. So there is colloid which is located. So many colloid is lying there. So collection of colloid is thyroglobulin. So see here, these are all colloids. These are all colloids are lying there. These are all colloids which is residing there. So a slide having thyroglobulin in the form of colloid, and these are follicular cells which is surrounding it. So this becomes a slide of thyroid gland. So this becomes a slide of thyroid gland. Is it okay, everyone? Correct? Got it, everyone? Any doubt? Why it is a slide of thyroid gland? Because it is having colloid in the center. So that is the reason. All of you just tell me, am I audible? Is the screen clear? Let me know. Am I audible? Yes. And the screen is clear so that, yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. So yes, the correct answer is thyroid gland. Now, okay, this is the similar one only. Same question 2 times. Okay. So let me see who, now who can mark it right. Okay, let me see who can mark it now right. Okay. So reticular fibers of collagen tissue is present in all except same only. Let me see अगर कोई बाद में join किया तो they can mark it right or wrong. So अभी तो सबको आना चाहिए. Now everybody should know this. So, okay, now also few of you are marking it wrong. So, okay. So actually this was the question I have discussed before also just now. Thymus gland में reticular cells होते हैं. Epithelio. What it contains? It contains epithelio-reticular cells. It contains epithelio-reticular cells, not reticular fibers. All other will contain reticular fibers. All other structure will contain reticular fibers. Okay. Now I will show you this diagram. Here you can see here blood thymic barrier layers has been shown, endothelium, basal lamina and epithelio. Actually epithelio-reticular cells is very important. If you will zoom it, this diagram, you can see here epithelio-reticular cells along with the endothelium and basal lamina of capillaries is forming blood thymic barrier, BTB. It is forming blood thymic barrier, BTB. What it is forming? Blood thymic barrier, and this is protecting the developing immature. It is protecting developing immature. It is protecting developing immature T lymphocytes from the attack of antigens present in the blood. So what is the role of BTB? The BTB, that is blood thymic barrier, is protecting the immature T lymphocyte which is growing inside. T lymphocyte is growing inside, and these T lymphocyte which is growing inside is protected from the attack of blood antigen. So blood thymic barrier is formed by epithelio-reticular cells, and this epithelio-reticular cells of the thymus gland is forming the supporting network in case of thymus gland. So yes, done with the next. Vasa vasorum includes which of the following? What is vasa vasorum? Is it small blood vessels supplying the walls of large blood vessels? Is it small blood vessels supplying the nerves? Is it the veins which is supplying the arteries? It is the veins which is supplying the nerves. Vasa vasorum. According to you, which is the correct answer? Your time starts now. Okay, so let me see the leader. Point Break is leading, followed by Kostub, followed by Swan. Great. So yes. So yes, the correct answer is blood vessels supplying the walls of large blood vessel. So actually, vasa vasorum is a small blood vessel. What is vasa vasorum? They are small blood vessels. Vasa vasorum is small blood vessels, and this small blood vessels is residing in the tunica adventitia layer of large arteries and large veins. So while it is present, actually the blood which is flowing through the lumen, the blood which is flowing through the lumen, that is not enough to give the nutrition to the outermost layer. Okay, the blood which is flowing is not enough to provide nutrition to the outermost layer of the blood vessel. So there is vasa vasorum which is giving nutrition to the outermost layer. Actually large muscular artery also outer layer can have the vasa vasorum. They are small blood vessels of the large blood vessels. So the correct answer is A, small blood vessels supplying the wall of large blood vessels. Let me show you a diagram. So how many layers from inside to outside the blood vessels is having? Innermost layer is tunica intima, then is the tunica media, and then is the adventitia. It will go like this. So if we talk about the layers, if we go from the luminal aspect to outside, the innermost layer will be tunica intima, tunica media, and then tunica adventitia. Okay. Now, external elastic lamina will separate tunica. See here. So external elastic lamina. External elastic lamina. Okay, 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 dear. Okay, Dr. Gunjan, ma'am, immunodefense areas. Okay, someday, yeah, sure, I will take that session. Okay, all of you can write the message also which of the topic you want me to take. Okay, you can write the message. External elastic lamina is lying between tunica media and that of tunica adventitia. Internal elastic lamina lies between tunica media and that of tunica intima. So innermost layer is tunica intima. So internal elastic lamina lies between tunica media and tunica intima. Okay. So endothelium is lying there, and outermost wall will have the vasa vasorum as shown in the diagram. So see here, this is a slide of blood vessel where you are seeing the blood vessels, small blood vessels. Can you see here? This is the small blood vessel. This is also small blood vessel which is residing the outermost layer, that is TA, and outermost layer it is present in the tunica advent. Can anybody tell me actually the largest number of vasa vasorum? The largest number of vasa vasorum will be found in which large vein or large artery? Can anybody give me the answer? Large vein or large artery, which is having largest number of blood vessels? Can anybody tell me vasa vasorum will be more in large vein or in large artery? What would be the answer? Large vein में ज्यादा होगा या large artery में more number of vasa vasorum होगा? The correct answer is large vein. So large vein will have more number of vasa vasorum. Why? The reason is that because the blood flow will be sluggish. The blood flow in case of large vein will be sluggish, and so vasa vasorum number will be maximum in case of large vein as compared to large artery. Got it? Okay, which of the following is lined by epithelium containing ciliated cells and clara cells? So which of the following structure, whether it is nasopharynx, whether it is trachea, whether it is respiratory bronchioles, whether it is intrapulmonary bronchioles? So according to you, which of the following is lined by epithelium containing ciliated cells and clara cells? Whether it is nasopharynx, whether it is trachea, whether it is respiratory bronchioles, whether it is intrapulmonary bronchioles. So question number 18, 4 options are there. Mark the correct answer. Okay, so yes, the correct answer is respiratory bronchioles. Okay, so for example, अगर हम bronchial tree की बात करें तो lower down, if we go in the bronchial tree, the cells, okay, the Clara cells will appear. Okay, तो वहाँ पे क्या पे goblet cells कम होते हैं, Clara cells is more there. So actually Clara cells is non-ciliate. So two types of cells is there in the terminal. So from the level of terminal bronchioles, then to the respiratory bronchioles. Also in the respiratory bronchioles, there is presence of Clara cells. Clara cells. So two types of cells are lying there. So I will come to this. Actually, two types of cells lies there. In case of terminal and respiratory bronchioles, there will be Clara cells, and these Clara cells is also having short microvilli. Short microvilli is there in Clara cells. So Clara cells is also called as club cells. They are non-ciliated. What are they? So in case of respiratory epithelium, there will be ciliated cells, non-ciliated. So these are actually present in the, they are important for the secretion of surfactant. What is the function of this Clara cells? They secrete, so yes, they are secreting what? They are secreting surfactant. Okay, so we have got two types of cell. One is ciliated, other is Clara cells. Clara cells is non-ciliated, lying in the, starting from the level of terminal bronchiole, it start to appear and reaches in the respiratory bronchioles too. And they have got small microvilli, but they are not ciliated, and they are secreting surfactants which act as a lubricant, and they reduces the surface tension. This is the function of respiratory bronchioles or the Clara cells, which is lying in terminal or respiratory bronchioles. Yes, done with this. Now let's move on to the next MCQ. Hard palate. Okay, this is P. Okay, hard palate contains which of these epithelium? Keratinized mucosa, absent submucosal layer, minor salivary gland. Keratinized mucosa, submucosal gland layer, minor salivary gland, non-keratinized, submucosal, minor salivary gland, non-keratinized, absent submucosa. So 4 options are there. Read the option nicely and then tell me the answer. Which of the following is exactly correct statement for the hard palate? So question number 19, mark the correct answer. Okay, so yes, when we are talking about this, actually hard palate की बात करेंगे, so it has been asked in, I think 2019 examination paper, it was asked 2019 or 20. So yes, hard palate is having keratinized epithelium. That is absolutely right. So option A is correct. If we will, I will also see you the slide of hard palate. It is having keratinized type of epithelium. It is also having some mucosal layer. So this is the correct option. B is the correct answer here. It is having keratinized epithelium. It is having keratinized epithelium. That is absolutely right. It is also having some mucosal layer. It is also having some mucosal layer, and it will have few minor salivary gland. Minor salivary gland. So when you will see the slide of this hard palate, a part of the bone chip is also seen. So lining epithelium is keratinized. Continuing with the skin, some mucosal layer will absolutely present and minor salivary glands will be there. So all of you please note down this second point, or the second option is absolutely correct about the hard palate epithelium and the histology. Keratinized mucosa, submucosal layer and minor salivary gland. Keratinized mucosa, submucosal layer and minor salivary gland. Now I would like to show you this diagram. Here in this slide, let me slightly zoom it. So see here. In this slide, you can see a part of B. What do you mean by B? What do you mean by B? So B means it is a part of bone. Okay, it's a part of bone. No, I gave the right. Okay, time was up. Okay, nothing to worry. Okay, no worries, dear. This is the epithelium. Okay, this is the epithelium which is keratinized. Can you see here? Keratin deposit hai or stratified squamous hai. Stratified squamous and keratinized. Okay. This is the L for lamina propria. LP means lamina propria. S is for submucosal layer. What is S standing for? Submucosal layer, and B is the part of the bone. B is the part of the bone. Okay. Okay. So those who are present here, they can also, which is your choice in the coming month of October, what topic you want me to take, let me know. Okay, all of you, which topic you want me to take, you can let me know, so that I can come up with that topic revision. That would be important for you, or I can arrange, I can have a revision of MCQ. So many of the students has given me the suggestion that ma'am, please take MCQ session topic wise, because entire session we are not able to revise it. So they want me to take the session topic wise. So I think many students are interested, so only we will go with like that, topic wise, so that you will have more clearer and more of MCQs being solved. So that would be also helpful for you, and it will be great. So any doubt from today's session, any of the MCQs we want me to repeat, or is it okay, everyone? Just let me know. Is the MCQ was okay? All the MCQs. So all of you do revise all these MCQs. So all these MCQs and various significant diagrams I have included. The various significant diagrams are there which can be revised by you. And before ending the session, I would like to give you the brief how you can be present. So unlock code of mine is ANAT10. My unlock code is ANAT10, which can be used by you for unlocking the free session. Those who want to circulation and system wise, Dr. Gunjan. So I would like, I am, okay, circulation and system. Actually, I will go in a anatomy ke point of view se jaungi. So system wise, like you want endocrine system, so that physiology mein they will go like that. But for me, I will go like reason wise. Okay, anatomy mein we will go reason wise. Is it okay? Physiology, system wise, I'm anatomy educator, so I will go reason wise. Reason wise is okay. Like pectoral region, axillary region, the thigh region, abdominal viscera, pelvic viscera, triangles of the neck, back, scapular region. So I will go region wise. Okay, it's good. We will do like that. 2 sessions I have taken. Yes, okay, Gunjan, it's okay. So, lymphatic system histology I have discussed, also systemic histology with MCQs. Just go with this. This is the code of mine, ANAT10, which can be useful for you. So you can unlock the session by using this. Also, referral code or unlock code. The students who are watching the session for the first time and is ANAT10. And also, I want to tell that first 500 aspirants should take the subscription of NEET PG Iconic subscription. That will be very useful for them, and they could have all 19 subject session in a very systematic way, and plus courses taken by the top educators of Unacademy platform, so you can be present for the session. NEET PG Iconic subscription will be highly beneficial for you. You can revise the session. Either you can go for 1 year, 3 years, 4 years subscription. That totally depends on you. But what I suggest, if you're the students of first and second year, just go with the Iconic subscription. Take either 3-4 years of subscription, because your university exam and your preparation of all the subject simultaneously will go along with your next preparation. First 500 aspirants use the code ANAT10 and get a discount of more than 20%. So just grab the opportunity. If you're planning to take the subscription, take the opportunity of taking Iconic subscription just now. Yeah, these are the discounted rate which is displayed. Okay, quick revision. Yes, Gunjan, Dr. Gunjan, quick revision for INICT. Yes, I know you are a plus student. So INICT ke just, it is in just, I think in October, there is going to be launched sessions for the quick revision and ultra fast revision for INICT. Definitely it will come up, don't worry. So NEET PG combat test. So those students who want to join with this 60 minutes, so go for 60-minute session, 45 MCQs. Actually, just lock it 10 October, 11 AM. 1 hour test is there. A scholarship pool from the 1 crore rupees is there. So you can enroll by using the code ANAT10 and do present for this session, where you can till 200 ranked students will get the scholarship. So first 1 to 3 ranks will get 100% of scholarship absolutely free. Next 4 to 10 will get 75% of the scholarship free. Next 11 to 50 ranks will get 50% of scholarship, until 200 ranked students will get 25% of the scholarship for the plus subscription of Unacademy. So just go grab the opportunity. All the best. Keep studying. Thank you so much. We will again meet up with upcoming session. So, okay, thank you. So my also plus course is going on, but that is for next time MBBS course. So that is okay, Dr. Tariq, I have just finished the session. So don't worry, you can revise this. All the best. Keep studying. Thank you so much. So plus course mein I am taking now I am taking, okay, you can join me Pleura 8:30 plus course Pleura and lung. I am coming with Pleura and lung in detail. So you can, if you want to join, you can join for the Pleura and the lung. Thank you. All the best. Keep studying. Thank you so much.